Welcome to Royal Daily Report, your trusted source for the latest royal news and updates. I'm your host, and today we have breaking news from the fashion world that everyone is talking about. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon for more exclusive royal updates. British Vogue just released its very first best-dressed list, and with one simple move, it made a very clear statement. Right at the top was the Princess of Wales. She had that calm, relaxed, front-row energy without even trying. But that wasn't the moment that made people stop and think. The real moment came just seconds later when Vogue released a second list 55 of the most stylish, famous people who are shaping culture right now. Actors, designers, musicians, insiders, everyone had their place. Everyone had a title. But one name that people expected to see just wasn't there. Meghan Markle, no ranking, no special mention, not even a small note. And when a magazine like Vogue stays silent, that silence isn't an accident. It's on purpose. Because in fashion, being ignored is louder than being criticized. A door didn't slam shut. It closed softly. And that's how power works. Now, here's the part most people don't understand. This wasn't about dresses. Vogue wasn't judging skirts, shoes, or colors. They made that very clear. This list wasn't about what you wear. It was about who you are when you wear it. Vogue was looking for people who shape culture without running after it. People who don't announce their power because the power speaks first. In this world, style isn't loud, it's controlled. It's confidence without explanation. Vogue doesn't reward loudness, it rewards control. And once you understand that, the list starts looking less like fashion news and more like a power map. Who gets invited? Who gets trusted? And who no longer fits in the room? If you're enjoying this exclusive coverage, make sure to subscribe to Royal Daily Report and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. And then there was Catherine, not just included. Vogue didn't just place her at the top, they gave her a title that matters. An eternal influencer. That's not temporary, that's permanent. She was placed alongside names that don't beg for importance because they built it. Kate Moss, Naomi Campbell, Victoria Beckham icons whose influence didn't need rebranding. Vogue praised Catherine's love of old fashion, her loyalty to British designers, and her almost magical ability to change a brand's future by wearing it once. No press tour, no statement, just quiet consistency. They even noted that her influence is expected to grow, especially as she steps into the role of giving out royal warrants. Translation: her presence doesn't just move fashion, it moves money, slowly, calmly, surely. And that's when the difference became impossible to ignore. One woman rose without asking, another didn't even get noticed. And suddenly, this wasn't a fashion story anymore. It was a lesson in how power really works and who still has it. Here's where the story stops being emotional and starts being about money. Because Catherine's position at the top of Vogue's list wasn't just symbolic, it was economic. What insiders call the Kate effect isn't a compliment. It's a real, measurable force. Brands she wears sell out within hours. Designers see increases they can trace directly back to a single appearance. The impact is estimated in the billions. And that's not hype. That's market behavior. Vogue understands this language perfectly. They don't crown people because they're liked. They crown people because they move systems. Catherine doesn't chase fashion houses. Fashion houses quietly hope for a nod. And what makes her even more valuable is what she doesn't do. No chaos, no drama, no being everywhere, just consistency, control, and trust. From Vogue's perspective, that isn't just style, that's stability. And stability is everything when you're deciding who gets long-term influence and who gets phased out. Stay tuned to Royal Daily Report for more breaking news. Subscribe now if you haven't already. Now, go back to that second list, 55 names, each one carefully placed. Amal Clooney praised for sticking to a look. Musicians recognized for shaping sound and style. Actors celebrated for being unique and confident. Even the men had their own category. Everyone was included. Everyone had a reason for being there. And Meghan still wasn't. This wasn't about forgetting her. Vogue doesn't forget people of her level. This was about leaving her out, about not seeing a clear place for her anymore. In elite circles, lists like this are less about popularity and more about definition. Who are you right now? What do you represent? What do you bring that lasts? Vogue didn't explain her absence because they didn't need to. Silence is how big institutions communicate when the answer is already decided, and the message was simple. Even if it was uncomfortable, whatever Meghan represents at this stage, Vogue no longer considers it cultural authority. And this is where the quiet rejection became sharp. According to sources close to the situation, Meghan didn't wait to be invited back into Vogue's pages. She reached out, but what arrived wasn't a pitch. It was a set of demands of full feature: major placement, creative control, approval over images, quotes, and story. In other words, she didn't want collaboration. She wanted command, and that's where the line was drawn. Vogue works with powerful women all the time, but there's a rule they rarely break. The magazine controls the story. Even global icons don't dictate editorial authority. Insiders say the tone of the request raised eyebrows, not because it was ambitious, but because it felt entitled. Vogue isn't in the business of fixing images. They don't rescue reputations, they protect their own. And when faced with a person whose public image has become divisive, demanding control instead of trust, Vogue did what it always does in moments like this. It declined politely, quietly, firmly. And in the fashion world, a polite no is louder than a public rejection. It's the sound of access being taken away. For the latest royal analysis and exclusive reports, subscribe to Royal Daily Report, your go-to source for royal news. There was a time when Meghan's presence felt interesting. New, slightly untouchable. But mystery is fragile, and once it's gone, it doesn't come back easily. In elite fashion and media circles, being everywhere isn't visibility, it's wearing out. The more the public hears the same themes, the same explanations, the same carefully managed messages, the less powerful it becomes. Vogue thrives on distance, on unanswered questions, on letting the image breathe. And somewhere along the way, Meghan's story stopped breathing. Every appearance felt planned. Every smile felt rehearsed. Every moment felt like it was trying to say something instead of simply being something. Fashion doesn't reward effort, you can see. It rewards effort you never notice. And when mystery turns into predictability, even the most powerful platforms begin to step back. Stepping away from the royal family was supposed to open doors. Freedom, opportunity, reinvention. Instead, it revealed something far less glamorous: how much influence had been built into the institution itself. Outside the palace walls, the safety net disappeared. Media deals promised a fresh start but delivered mixed results. Projects launched with global anticipation only to fade without the staying power expected. Behind the scenes, relationships cooled. Invitations slowed. Support became conditional. The truth is uncomfortable but simple. The authority Meghan once carried didn't belong only to her. It flowed through closeness to the crown. Without it, every move required more effort for less return. Freedom came, yes, but so did isolation. And in industries that value stability, isolation is risky. This is where the story goes beyond fashion and becomes something deeper. Attention is loud. It trends, spikes, and disappears. Favor is quiet. It doesn't announce itself, but it decides outcomes. Institutions don't chase attention. They protect favor. That's why silence from Vogue matters. That's why the monarchy never rushes to respond. Power that lasts doesn't argue. It waits. Catherine's influence grows because it's aligned with systems that move slowly and carefully. Meghan's struggle isn't about talent or ambition. It's about positioning. Once you step into conflict with the very structures that lifted you up, attention may follow. And without favor, doors don't slam. They simply stop opening. Don't forget to subscribe to Royal Daily Report and stay updated on all the latest royal developments. In the end, this isn't about who dressed better. It's about how two paths led to two very different outcomes. One woman learned to wait, to listen, to let institutions speak for her. She didn't rush to be relevant. She became inevitable. The other pushed forward, demanding space, demanding control, demanding to be heard, and learned that power doesn't respond well to pressure. Vogue didn't choose sides loudly. It didn't need to. It crowned one and quietly passed on the other. And that decision says more than any headline ever could. Because influence doesn't disappear overnight. It shifts, it settles, it chooses where it wants to live. And right now, it's clear where it feels most comfortable. This isn't an ending. It's a pause, a recalibration. And the real question isn't who Vogue crowned this time, It's who will understand the lesson before the next door closes just as quietly. That's all for today's report on Royal Daily Report. If you enjoyed this exclusive coverage, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss our latest updates on the royal family. Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you.